What's up, everybody? I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And welcome to our bucket list channel, a channel in which we try to realize the goals and dreams that are on our bucket list. One of these goals is to watch every movie that was nominated at the Academy Award from 1927 to 2028. We've been doing that for a while now, and these past few weeks we've been doing the movies from 2019. The movie that we just watched, our most recent movie on that list, was Ford v Ferrari.
Oh, what a movie.
We'll discuss it in a few seconds. For those of you who don't know, the way we do these reviews is the first part is going to be spoiler free, and then in the second part we're going to talk more in depth about some of the scenes or some of the elements that we liked or disliked, but with spoilers. Don't worry, if you haven't seen the movie, we will warn you when we switch to the spoiler part. But before all of that, I got some information for you about the movie. First, I just got some general information, and then when we get to the spoiler part, I got some more stuff for you. So this is a co-production by Churnin Entertainment, TSG Entertainment, and Turnpike Film, distributed by 20th Century Fox, a movie that came out in November 15, 2019. Movie directed by James Mangold, starring Christian Bale as Ken Miles, Matt Damon as Carroll Shelby, John Bernthal as Lee Lakuka, and Catriona Balfe as Miles' wife. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but maybe you guys can tell me in the comment section below. The movie was a commercial and critical success, made $222 million out of its $97 million budget. So not the biggest blockbuster out there, but it made its money, you know. Nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including, of course, Best Picture, Best Film Editing for Michael McCusker and Andrew Buckland, Best Sound Mixing for Paul Macy, Steve A. Morrow, and David Gianmarco, and Best Sound Editing for Donald Sylvester. So now we're gonna get into a spoiler-free discussion. First of all, Anna, can you tell me, did you enjoy this movie? And from your...
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally enjoyed this movie. I do love watching racing competitions in general. There was a time when I would watch them on TV all the time. And so to watch a movie about something like this is very interesting to get, more insight, a little bit of insight into what that world looks like. Mm-hmm. For me, watching this kind of movies, like in general, cars moving, racing movies, is always very entertaining. It's something that really, keeps me so anchored into the action and what's happening. I love it so much.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, this is not a bad movie per se. This is a good movie. I was entertained the whole time. But compared to the movies we've been watching for 2019, and just in general, when you think Academy Award Best Picture nominated, I don't know that I would put that in there.
That you would put it in there?
Yeah, I think it's a good movie. I think there's a lot of good movies out there that I wouldn't nominate it for Best Picture.
No, I think it is. I think it is worthy of its nomination. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's better than, like you said, other nominees that we've seen this year. But it has its strong points, and I think that it's worthy of its place on that list.
I look at the caliber of movies we've had, like Little Women, Parasite, Irishman.
Yeah, but they're different kinds of movies.
These are all different movies.
Yeah.
Between themselves. Little Women is very different from Parasite, but both of them, I would say, in a heartbeat, this is Best Picture material. This one, I'm not so sure.
No?
Very entertaining, but still.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I think it's worthy of its place there. I like it. Maybe I'm biased because I do enjoy these kind of movies a lot, but I think it's a really strong.
I think it's a very safe, by the book movie, and we'll get there when we talk also about the spoiler part. But I think also a lot of the decisions they make in relation to the historical accuracy are decisions made just to make an entertaining movie. It's a by the book movie. That's not a bad thing by itself. You need those. They're very fun. most of the movies that I watch every year are by the book movies. 9 out of 10 Marvel movies is by the book. I wouldn't nominate those for Best Picture. Let's try to see in more detail what you liked about this movie. Was it the performances? Can you tell me a bit about that?
I did like the performances. What I liked the most about this movie was the passion for the sport that it transmitted. And obviously you can see that through the two main characters. And I feel like the performances of the actors...
Christian Bale.
Yes,
Matt
Christian
Damon.
Bale and Matt Damon have a great deal to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. And Christian Bale is English, but I've always seen him playing American characters. And so I was a bit taken aback by the accent.
The accent?
Yeah, I gotta admit, at the beginning, it totally took me out of it. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Christian Bale with an English accent. But yeah. Matt Damon, I thought was very good, yeah. And they did, like you say, you could feel the love for the passion, even more than love, the passion that they had for the cars and the racing.
And it's a very nice... I don't want to give too much information, but I think this is safe to say. It's very interesting to see it compared to the other aspects of the sport that we see through other characters, like the competition itself.
Yeah. Like it's about winning.
Exactly.
Not necessarily winning through the sport, but just winning.
Exactly.
The bad side of competition, might we say. What about the look and feel of the movie? This was a big part of it, obviously they have these big racing scenes and the sound of it.
I feel like the sound was really nice. It worked very well. The look, I want to say, I loved how they, because the action happens in the 60s, right? I love how they made it look like a 60s layout.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean because it's in the 60s? You mean you love the... Yeah,
exactly. Like the everything, the image. Even I feel like the way they shot the movie, the color, it kind of feels like it wants to mimic a little bit that look of old movies in certain aspects of it. Like it doesn't have those bright, clear colors that you would see in movies today.
You mean for example, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is in the 60s, but the coloring is different.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
treatment is different.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that. I was having a kick looking at those high-tech or high-end car that
oh my God,
they were flaunting around, and then you're like, oh man, this car looks old. But yeah, I thought the racing scenes were obviously a big part of the movie.
I'm curious because there were some parts where they show the race on TV, on all TVs. I'm curious if those shots were actually from the original.
Just the real race that they put there? Maybe.
I'm really curious about that.
What about the story? What do you think of it?
I was wondering watching it because obviously we recognize some of the names and others you figure out that they're real characters. But I was wondering watching the movie, is this accurate? Is this a real?
How much of it was true?
Yeah, exactly. Because it does have a little bit of feeling, and because of certain parts of it, especially that maybe they altered it. And you did actually mention that.
Well, we'll get there when we speak more in detail.
But yeah, altogether, I do feel for a movie that plays with real characters and with possibly real events, it does have too much of a movie taste to be real.
That's an interesting thing, yeah. You feel like it should be real because you recognize the name,
exactly.
But it feels like a movie.
Exactly.
That definitely goes with a lot of what I was thinking watching it, because these, I would say, this is based on true events, the race, everything. But as you're watching it, you're like, yeah, this definitely didn't happen. This is a movie. This is movie. This is movie.
Yeah.
You could
there
feel
are
it.
Parts where you're thinking no, this is absurd.
Yeah, you can feel it. Would you recommend this movie?
I would recommend it. I would recommend it because it's just, I feel like it's not a difficult movie to watch. It's very entertaining. It's full of action, and it has a strong message, I feel.
Yeah, I'd recommend it too. It's a relaxed movie to watch on an evening where you're not sure what to do. You put that on, you'll be entertained. Again, I like the movie. I'm just saying, if I was at the Academy, I wouldn't have nominated it for Best Picture.
I would have. I feel like it my opinion, it's a good movie. It's good enough for it.
So yeah, now let's get into our spoiler discussions. Before we start talking, I got some more information.
Right, tell me the parts that are true. What is true in this story?
We're not going through all of it, but
Okay.
I found a very nice site called History versus Hollywood, where they go through movies like that. But the fake versus the real. Before all of that, short synopsis of the movie. American car designer Carroll Shelby and driver Ken Miles battle corporate interference and their own personal demon to build a revolutionary car race and challenge Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966. True versus false? Let's get into some of these events. First of all, Ford v Ferrari, the beginning of the movie, they showed you the scene where Ford is trying to buy out Ferrari.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
right.
And the deal doesn't go well, and Ferrari ends up taking Fiat's offer instead.
Okay, yeah.
So it is a true story. Part of it, yes, Ford tried to buy Ferrari. They thought that was the quickest way for them to get into racing. Henry Ford II was really into it and wanted the companies to go there. They made the offer of 10 million, and at first Enzo Ferrari agreed to the deal.
Okay.
But then there was a clause in the contract that said that Ford would control the racing budget and thus control racing decision, which Ferrari did not want. So that was the question in the movie, you know, like, if I want to race and you say no, do we race? And the guy says no.
Right.
So he wanted the final say in the racing matter. So the deal was a no-go after that. The way they make it seem in the movie is that like he never had any intention to sell to Ford and use them to get a better deal from Fiat.
Yeah.
That is not true. Fiat didn't buy stake into Ferrari until 1969, well after Ford
Much
had
later.
already won Le Mans. Those events are not even in the same year. Other stuff, the conflict between Ken, Shelby, and the bureaucrats, the ties and the movie, corporate Ford and the movie is played out like way higher
I was wondering. That is the part that felt the most.
For example, regarding the Miles' participation in the race, him as the driver, there wasn't nearly as much pushback from Ford, the company Ford, regarding him. And even the first race that they go to in 1965 where they lose, he was there, he drove and lost to Ferrari. So like the movie plays it out, makes a whole thing out of it, but that doesn't happen. And one of the main reasons is to make an enemy out of this one corporate guy, which they make a big deal out of. He's against everything and he's always the one getting
that guy in the movie.
They make you want to hate him, but people who knew him and friends said that like the movie portrayal is totally false, and if you ask a bunch of people, they will tell you this guy was a really nice guy, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so mean. I mean that they would make him into a...
I mean, you need a villain.
Yeah, but
even Ferrari was made into the villain also in some kind of way, which I don't think I also agreed with much. All of this is played out for drama.
Yeah.
You know, the big drama, US versus Europe. Now, the big thing, the ending.
Yes.
Not the ending, the ending of the race.
The ending of the race.
It is true. There is a photo that exists of the car finishing together at the race. And Ken Miles had minutes ahead of the other cars. But due to instruction from Ford, combined with the technicality, he was given second place instead of first place. So in the movie they make it seem like he didn't want to obey the orders and change his mind at the last minute. Really, there was like he wasn't that much against it. Apparently, people say that Bruce McLaren tried to speed up a little bit at the end to try to get first place, but anyway, that's irrelevant. Even if he did or if he hadn't, even if they had finished exactly at the same time, the fact that he obeyed the orders and slowed down is what cost him the race. Because then the judge say that the other cars, since they started the race from further
behind, yes,
within the same amount of time, they made more distance than him.
Yeah.
And so, well, not they, just the other guy, McLaren. Yeah. And so he was given second place. And unlike the movie, Shelby was the one who told him to do it. You know, he didn't disagree with the decision.
All right.
But afterward said that he always regretted it for the rest of his life because of what it cost Ken. Of course, Ken would never win the Le Mans because he died shortly after. So
that part is true.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I actually didn't think that part is true. It feels like...
Movie.
Yeah, it does.
No, so they did. There is a photo of it, but there wasn't nearly any pushback. And that's the big thing. Whenever you think back of the movie, like any of the moments where it's like, oh, it's us against the world, not really, you know? Oh, it's us two who build this car and they're getting in our way. No, there was a whole team building the car, including Ford people.
You know, it feels kind of obvious. It's never just two guys building
no, but like they make it seem like they're at the center of it, you know? They're the reason this car works so well. But there were other people there too working on it. Not just their team, but people from Ford. And the people from Ford were not in their way the whole time, telling them no at every decision they wanted to do. That ending, so you said you thought it was fake. Why?
Because it doesn't, like, who does that? Why did he do that? It's a race. Like, I don't care that the other driver is on the same team as me. If I can win, I will win.
So it's marketing. The reason they went into the racing business to begin with was for marketing.
Yeah, and see, that's the part that the movie plays so well, is that the two of them, they're there for the race, for their passion for the sport, whereas the other people from Ford, like from like Henry Ford II and everyone else in a suit and a tie, is only there for publicity. Like they're only there for the win of the company, but not for the sport. Which is also interesting when you told me that Ford was actually into racing. Because to me, it didn't feel in the movie like he's into racing. He's only into like...
So in the movie, they make it seem like he was convinced by this other guy, Lee, to do this, you know?
Yeah.
But from what I found, like, he was a fan of...
Yeah, in the movie, they don't portray him like that at all. That's interesting. There's a lot of differences, really, from what you tell me.
Yeah, but...
So let's stick to the movie here.
They're making a movie, you know?
Obviously.
So that's what I was saying, like, a lot of the decision they make is to make a movie, and they're the kind of decision you would expect a movie to make. And so this movie, to me, is too safe, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I would have liked it way more if they made it like a more realistic kind of story without the bad guy and without all of that. Like, tell the story of how things actually happen.
Really want it, yeah. But you need an antagonist for people to be angry like you were.
Yeah, oh my god, I was so angry when I was watching it. I was like, what? Who, this guy? Like, why?
And then to be happy at the end, like, any other scenes that, you want to dwell upon that jumped at you except the ending?
Except the ending, after the ending, the very ending.
Oh,
the very last scene in the car store, in the garage, whatever it is there, when they're trying to sell a car to whomever, and one of the guys tells Shelby, like, oh, we're about to close this deal, you should go, say a few nice words, make them, how did he say, like, make them feel, confident for buying this car. And then he, bursts out, and he's like, we're not selling hellos and nice words, we're selling cars. They should feel confident because it's a good car. Like, I feel like that, the reaction of his at the end sums up the whole movie so well. Like, it's not about, to everyone else, to the corporate people, to Ford and his team, and also the people buying those cars at the end. It's all about what things look like the image of it. Whereas he understood, or to him, it was the passion for the job.
For cars.
For cars, exactly. One more thing that I wanted to mention that really surprised me is that from hearing the title, it's Ford versus Ferrari, I thought it would be more like of an upscale competition between the two, whereas the story is really only about Ford. Ferrari is only there as an entity.
As the enemy.
Exactly.
It's a very, us versus them type of movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And all sense of the word, you know.
I would have liked
the two of us versus the corporation, and then the country versus this other country.
Yeah, exactly. I would have liked. I feel like I would have liked much more to see the story from both sides. Like, what was Ferrari doing during all this time? Like that moment after the first race where they lost, but then Shelby told Harry Ford that right now Ferrari is
scared,
like so scared because he saw how fast our car is, and he knows that we could beat him. Like, I would have liked to see that. Like, I would have liked to see how did things look like from the other side.
They put a lot of importance on the fact that, you know, our car is faster, our car is better, blah blah blah. Our driver is better. It is widely accepted that they won because of the smart idea they had, which is to switch the brakes.
Oh.
And so they didn't have to use the brake over their capacity like other drivers would have to, which gave them a definite advantage. So it's more ingenuity than any of the other elements, really. Sure, the car was good and the driver was good, but what really gave them the edge, you know?
Right, because it does feel a lot like they put the pressure on the idea that it's all about the driver.
Yeah.
That without the best driver, you cannot win.
Yeah. But like I said, you know, he was there in a 65-2 and he lost. Though there was a problem with the car, but still. Did you expect Ken to die?
I actually knew that.
Oh, yeah?
I knew that. I didn't know when. I knew that he died in a car accident.
How did you know? You knew that guy?
I think I've heard it recently, actually. But probably also because of the movie. I usually manage to stay away from spoilers, but this one, like... And I didn't know that it happens in the movie, necessarily. I just knew that the driver died.
So in a car accident or just that he's dead?
In a car accident.
Oh, okay.
So that I imagined that they would show that in the movie. But I didn't know when it happens, and I actually thought at first it would happen at the race.
Yeah.
When they shut the car door with the hammer, I was like, oh, he's not gonna be able to get out. And then I was thinking like, oh my god, is this
That's
when he
how
dies?
he dies?
Like, is this how he dies? But yeah, like I didn't know when it happened. Actually, it felt even more sad. I mean, you know, it's sad anytime someone dies, obviously, but that he died like that, just like a test drive with a car. Like, you know, he was preparing for his
After surviving so much. You know.
Right, exactly. And he was preparing for his next race.
And to think that he was robbed of his victory and then dies, you know, that's
exactly. It's very touching.
So, to sum it up, you like the movie?
I did like the movie. I think that I liked it more than you. I do feel like it's worthy of its spot on this list. I do feel like the actors managed to transmit those feelings and those ideas and those emotions really well. And for that reason, I recommend it.
Yeah. Thought it was an entertaining movie. If you're looking for something to watch and you're not sure, don't hesitate. You'll have some fun. Is it my pick for winner? Is it even my pick for nominee? No. But still, a fun movie. And if you guys disagree or agree with either of us, please tell us in a comment below. Have you seen Ford v Ferrari? What did you think of it? If you're not subscribed to this channel already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video, and have a nice day.
There's a point, 7,000 RPM, where everything fades.